This is my week 28 update in my race to 250K. One of the most common questions new investors want to know is how many ETFs should they hold in their portfolio? And there are thousands of videos reviewing ETFs, ranking ETFs, comparing ETFs, and showing hypothetical portfolios that don't exist. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not here to tell you what I think you should buy. I'm here to show you exactly what I buy with my own money every single week. Every Friday, I open my portfolio and show you the real numbers. The wins, the losses, the pullbacks, the dividends, and everything else in between. No hypothetical returns, no paper portfolio, no back test, just real money, real decisions in real time with real accountability. I'm not asking you to believe what I say. I'm inviting you to watch what I do. In this video, I'll show you my complete portfolio, explain why I chose these 5 ETFs, what I bought this week, how the portfolio performed, my dividend income, and the lessons I'm learning as I continue building wealth 1 week at a time. Let's get into my portfolio and see where I'm at. Now that we're in the portfolio, we can see the balance is $173,029.66. This is a big jump from last week, and every week I invest a minimum of $1,100. Before I go over these 5 ETFs, I just want to let everybody know I'm simply documenting my journey and what works for me. Always do your own research before you invest your money. All right, for DGRO, I have 408 shares with a market value of $31,534. And this is 18.2% of my account. The reason I have DGRO, it complements SCHD really well. Focuses on companies that consistently grow their dividends, giving me another layer of dividend growth while still investing in high quality businesses, which is the key. My next position is SCHD. I have 2,130 shares with a market value of $68,992. And this is nearly 40% of my account. And SCHD is my largest position because I wanted a fund with quality companies with a history of growing dividends and reliable cash flow. This is the foundation of my portfolio, and I plan to hold this forever. Then we have SCHG. I have 553 shares with a market value of $18,890. This is just about 11% of my portfolio. SCHG just is giving me long-term growth. It gives me exposure to some of the biggest growth companies in the market and helping balance out my income side of my portfolio. Nothing more, nothing less. Just to help compounding. Next, we have SCHX. I have 967 shares. Market value is $28,438. And this is 16% of my portfolio, 16.4 to be exact. SCHX gives me broad market exposure to large U.S. companies across the entire market. Instead of trying to pick individual winners, I own hundreds of them through this one ETF. Basically the same as VU. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. My last position is international, VXUS. I have 296 shares. Market value is $25,174. This is 14.5% of my portfolio. VXUS gives me the international diversification. The US has been strong for a long time, but I don't want my entire portfolio dependent on one country. So VXUS gives me the exposure to the whole world. Now let's get into all my weekly buys for this week. Okay, for my weekly buys, my total investment this week was $1,100. Let's see what I bought. First, I bought SCHD, 13 shares. That was $414. Then I bought 3 shares of DGRO. That was $227. Then I bought 11 shares of SCHX which was $319. Then I bought 3.8 shares of SCHG, which was $130. So that's all my weekly buys, totaling $1,100. Consistency is the key. Let's get into how the portfolio performed this week now. Okay, for the performance now, we could see from June 29th to July 2nd, excluding my contributions, this portfolio gained $2,639.31, or 1.55%. Let's see how we compare to the indexes this week. Okay, we can see my portfolio up 1.55%. The Russell down 42 basis points. The S&P 500 up 1.78%. NASDAQ up 2.12%. And the Dow Jones up 1.99%. So overall, the market had a big week and my portfolio kept up with it for this week. Let's get into the dividend income now. So now that we're in the dividend income, we can see my total is $3,991, or $325 per month. Also this week, I collected the quarterly dividends, which I'll get into that after I go over what all these funds are paying me. First, we have DGRO, $606. Then we have SCHD, $2,256. Then we have SCHG, $69. Then we have SCHX, $288. Then VXUS, $680. For the total of $3,900. The goal is to get this to $6,000 by the end of the year, and I think I figured out which covered call ETF I'm going to put as my number 6 ETF, which it will be in a portfolio by next week. Let's take a look at all the quarterly dividend payments now. First, we have VXUS. They paid $114, which that bought me another 1.34 shares. Then we had SCHX pay a dividend of $72. And that bought me another 2.5 shares. Then SCHG paid $18.51, and that bought me another half a share. Then we have SCHD paid $530, which bought me 16.6 shares. I'm pretty happy with that, but there's a long way to go. All right, that's going to do it for my week 28 update. Stay tuned for week 29, and remember, stay disciplined and consistent.